Hi everyone, welcome to Teacher Gela podcast. I am Teacher Gela. This is podcast episode number 27. It's been a long time. If you are following me on the social media on Instagram, you probably know that I was out of country for a month. I went to Korea for my eye surgery. I just got back here last week. Last week. And I wasn't able to record the podcast episode or make a new blog post. I only carried just essential things and I didn't carry my laptop, not even iPad. Yeah, I didn't really plan to work either because I knew that I wouldn't have a private my own space to be. And yeah, actually, I didn't have any. I stayed in my grandma's house and I stayed in my mom's friend's house for a month. So I wasn't able to do any work for podcast or blog. Well, of course, I was getting some ideas and I wrote them down on my notebook and I planned some episodes for the future, but I wasn't really able to actually record it. So I am here. It's been a long time to record a podcast. I am really happy to be back here. I hope you are happy to see me again. So for today's episode, it's more like me just talking to you, really. Like a little more in a little more casual way, maybe. But there's a theme, there's a topic. The topic that I want to talk about today is groundedness. Groundedness. I like this word groundedness. Well, groundedness means like you feel grounded, means like you feel that you are present at the time. You feel present on earth. You feel present in this time, in this place, in this spot. Why do I want to talk about groundedness? Because that was what I was lacking while I was traveling. I was in Korea for about a month. Not about a month, it's almost exactly a month. And I like traveling, but the purpose of this trip was not uh getting rest or vacation or like having fun. It was mainly for my eye surgeries. And also, I don't have many friends there anymore. I didn't have many things to do there, to be honest. And all my life is here in Canada. All my work, all my business is here. So a month felt really, really long. So I struggled a little bit. So one day, it was at the very beginning of the trip, like first week or second week of my trip, I sat down in the cafe and I had to journal for a long time. I wrote everything, like how I felt that moment, what I am not liking, what I want, what things that I want to change, what I want to be doing, things like that, anything, everything. So after some journaling and some inner work, was slowly able to find my groundedness back, my peace back. So I want to talk about that. I made the title of this episode Travel Guide for Your Mental Health. What are the things that you struggle when you travel? I know it's gonna depend on what kind of trip you are having, right? Well, for example, last year around this time when I went to Mexico for vacation for a week, I didn't struggle with anything. It was for vacation. It was much shorter time and it was mainly for just relaxing and to have fun. So that time I didn't have any concerns or problems. But, you know, not every trip is like that. Sometimes you have to travel for some purposes, and it might not be a fun trip for you, right? So this trip was like that for me. So if you are having that kind of trip, that kind of travel, what are the things that you struggle with? If you are traveling for a long time, like me, like about a month or more than a month, you may feel like you are just like a suitcase with the wheels. Like you always put your stuff in the suitcase and you go here, and maybe next day you go somewhere else. And the next day you go somewhere else. That's how I was feeling when I was in Korea because, like I said, I didn't really have my own space. I was really, really grateful for having a place at my grandma's house and my mom's friend's house. Although I was very grateful for that, you know, I felt the need for private time, private space sometimes. And I wish I could have my own space for a month. Anyway, so if you are traveling for a long time, you may feel like this too, feeling very ungrounded. You don't know what is happening in your life. You don't know like how your days are going. You don't really feel it. You don't really feel present. You might be having fun by, stopping at different places, seeing different things, seeing new things, and experiencing new things or experiencing new food. Those things are fun. But at the same time, if you are moving from place to place a lot for a long time, you can feel very ungrounded. And when you feel ungrounded, what can you do? So today in this episode, I want to share what I did for my own peace. I have my note here with me, and I'm gonna look at this note a lot while I'm speaking because this notebook has everything that what was in my head, what was in my mind at the time, and I wrote these. Like I said, second week of my trip, and yeah, I was not in a very stable point. So, what did I do? There are three things that I did, and three things that I am gonna suggest you if you are having a difficulties or complaints during your trip. First one is journaling. I already mentioned that journaling. I journal even in my regular days. I journal almost every day, I think. Some days I miss it, but most days I do journal. When you feel ungrounded, when you feel unsettled, I think journaling is the first thing that you gotta try. For journaling, you need the space and some material, like writing material, right? So you find a quiet place, bring your notebook or just paper, piece of paper would work too, and a pen. I went to a cafe one day. I told my mom that, I was almost with my mom, like almost 24/7, almost. But when I reached the point that, like, oh my God, I need my alone time, I told my mom that I'm gonna go to a cafe. I'm gonna stay there for a few hours. So I left and I went to a cafe. The good thing was in Korea, there are many, many cafes. So it wasn't hard to find a cafe. So I went to a cafe, I sat down, I started writing. What do you write about? First, you can just start with brain dumping. Whatever are in your brain, whatever that are in your mind, you can just start writing about it. If you are having difficulties, the first things that you are going to write might be mostly negative things. But that's okay. That's okay. Even the negative things, you can just write them about. Like, I don't like that. For me, it was like, I don't really like the situation now. I wish I can have my private space, things like that. Just write all the negative things that you don't like, negative feelings that you have. Just write them all. After you write all the negative things, there will be a space for different thoughts. And in that space, positive thoughts may start to come after you dump out all the negative things. So that's what I did. I started with the negative things, things that I don't like, and then I slowly moved to positive thoughts and positive things. If you feel like nothing positive is coming to me, even after I dump everything out, if you feel like nothing else coming, then you can try using some journal prompts. You can find journal prompts online. You can just put like journal prompts on Google, or you can find some good ones on Pinterest as well. I wrote some prompts here. If you are wondering what you can use, especially for groundedness, I will share them with you. So, first one is, what's the thing that can be different right now, right here? For example, I was comfortable at my grandma's house. I I'm an introvert person. I felt the need for my own alone time. So I went outside and I found my space in the cafe, right? So you can think about this. What is the thing that can be different right now? I want to be alone. I want to be able to journal in the cafe. Think about that. What can be different right now, right at the moment? And then you can start from there. If you feel like I want something, it may be something like I want something sweet, then you can go out and find something sweet. It may be something like I don't want to feel alone, then you may find a place to go. It can be a library, it can be a shopping mall, it can be a restaurant, whatever. Ask this question to yourself and think about think about what you want at the moment. Think about what you want different at the moment. So the second prompt is, how do I want to feel now? You probably wrote that I feel sad or I feel angry in the journaling when you were brain dumping. Then, how do I want to feel now? What did I write? I wrote, I want to feel grounded because I was feeling like a bit anxious. There was nothing to worry about because honestly, there were not many things were happening. So there were nothing to worry about. But I think because I wasn't really settling in one place, I felt very unsettled and a bit anxious as well. So I put, I want to feel grounded. Third journal prompt is, what did make me feel that way before? So for me, it was like this. What did make me feel grounded before? And then think about times that you felt like that. If you put you want to feel grounded, what made you feel grounded before before this trip? I put my regular routine, my morning ritual, my morning makeup routine, my oat latte that I used to make at home. So think about your life before the trip and then think about what made you feel that way and then write them down. So the goals of using these journal prompts and thinking about those questions are finding yourself again out of the situation, out of the situation, out of your traveling situation. think about yourself in your normal life before the trip and then find yourself again. That is the goal here. And also, it's journaling. In journal, you can write whatever you want to write. If there are other thoughts that are coming to you, then you can write them. You will be able to find what is bothering you, what will make you feel better, what you want different. So I really, really recommend journaling. So that's the first thing. The second thing is positive affirmations. After writing all your thoughts out, all your complaints, all your thoughts, you can say some positive affirmations to yourself. So here, for me, I want you to feel grounded, right? So I specifically find affirmations that could help me feel grounded. For positive affirmation, it doesn't need to be a quiet spot. You can just see the positive affirmation and read it in your mind or read it quietly. But if you have a space, your own space, then you can even try saying them out loud. So I wrote some positive affirmations that can help you feel grounded. Let me read it for you. I am in control of my thoughts and my actions. I am capable. I am strong. I am smart. I focus on what I can control and let go of what I can't. It is safe for me to be my authentic self. Those are just examples, and these are like specifically for groundedness. So you can read them as many times as you need until you really feel like them. So the second one is positive affirmation. And the third one is doing the things that you would normally do on your regular days. So I kind of talked about this too. If you tried journaling, brain dumping, and writing out anything, everything, then you probably got some ideas from it, like what you are not liking, what you want to change. For me, it was feeling grounded, finding groundedness, right? And to find my groundedness back, I could do some of my regular things. Morning routine, my makeup routine, making my coffee at home, things like that. In addition to that, I tried shopping at a shopping mall because some days I wanted to be outside, I wanted to see people, I wanted to, see new clothes. Those days I would go to a mall near my house and I did shopping. Sometimes just window shopping. So I did that too. I actually tried this one. I went to a mall and I did shopping by myself. I also tried ordering my regular drink. Mostly I order like latte or cafe misto or regular coffee. So I order those drinks at the cafe. So I can feel the same. I can feel like it's my regular day. It's very similar to my regular day. This is what I normally order. This is what I normally drink. I also went to a bookstore. I love to walk around in the bookstore. I love checking new books. I love seeing all the stationery stuff. So I did that. I went to a bookstore and I did my regular thing. And another thing, I thought about the YouTube channels, the channels that I used to watch on my regular days. Because I normally watch YouTube on the iPad, on the tablet at home. When I was using my phone to watch YouTube, I saw different channels because the account is different. We are using my husband's account on the tablet. So it was different. When I opened YouTube on my phone, I saw like totally different channels, like the channels that I used to watch at way before, and some new channels too. And that also made me feel, very unsettled because they are not my regular things. So I searched the channels that I used to watch before a trip, mostly self-help, mostly motivational stuff, and some fashion, some makeup, some food, eating stuff. I checked those channels and watched the videos there. That can make you feel like yourself again. Another thing, like I said, I like journaling, and I also like writing down my plans. My plans, my short term plans, long term plans. I like to plan things. So I did that as well. The last one, I made a list of the things that I want to do if I have a chance. So in my list, I wrote doing hair in Korean hair salon, visiting a facial care shop, getting personal color consultation. It was kind of trendy thing in Korea, finding your personal color that goes well with your skin tone, kind of thing. So I wrote that in my list as well. And attending a flower workshop, visiting movie theater and watching Korean movies, visiting famous places. The good thing about making a list is after making your list, you may feel like I have my list. If I feel bad again, if I feel angry again, I can check my list and I will have things that can make me happy. Your list can give you comfort and hope. So, these three things are the things that I actually tried and did to feel grounded and to find my calm, to find my peace again. Because it was only second week of my trip and I had 2 more weeks to go. I couldn't just stay feeling unsettled for the next 2 weeks. I didn't want to stay in there. If you are also having maybe work trip or maybe personal trip that you don't really want to have, or it's just too long, a bit stressful for you, and you feel ungrounded, I suggest you to try these things. Let me quickly say them again. First, journaling. Second, positive affirmation. Third, doing the things that you normally do on your regular days. These were really helpful for me. So I was like, when I wrote them down, I was like, oh my God, I want to share these with you guys. That's why I'm sharing in this episode. And because I really, really love these, I decided to make an intensive workshop for this. I haven't made it yet at this moment, but I don't know when you are gonna watch this video, when you're gonna listen to this podcast episode. But when it is ready, I'm gonna link it in the description box. So if you like this topic, if you wanna learn or exercise more about these, then check the description box and check the workshop. Maybe today's episode sounded a bit like an epilogue to my trip. That is kind of true. I just wanted to think about it again and talk about it. While I was preparing this episode, I felt calm and peaceful again. I only came back a week ago and I feel like I needed to do this. I needed to, go through the time again, write them about, and then share them about to have a closure. Because it was really like bittersweet trip for me. There were good times, but there were not very good times too. So it was very helpful for me. And I hope this episode is helpful for you too. All right. That's it for this episode. Thank you for listening. Make sure that you check the description box for the upcoming intensive workshop as well. All right. See you next time.